Today we are going to be learning about something called subject-verb agreement. Basically, that's a fancy way of saying to make sure who or what you're talking about matches with what they are doing. So if you know Spanish, in Spanish, you know I can't say yo tiene. I have to say yo tengo because the yo part has to go with tengo. Those two go together, it makes it sound right. I can't say ellos habla. I have to say ellos hablan. When I have ellos as who I'm talking about, I have to make sure I use hablan. They go together, they sound right. In English, we have that too. So if you're talking about something that happens in the present tense, that means something that usually happens or that happens, you use that for he, she, and it. When you have a subject that's like saying he or she or it, you need to add s onto the end of what they're doing. That's the verb. Let me show you. I can't say he talk. I have to say he talks. I have that s as my suffix on the end. I can't say she write. It has to say she writes. That's again, if that's something she usually does or that's something that happens. If I'm talking about an animal, I might say it sits. I have to have that s as my suffix on the end of what it does or at the end of my verb. Let's look at some examples. Here's one. Look at this picture. What is my subject? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the man, so that's like saying he. Remember, if I have he, she, or it as who I'm talking about, if it's something that's in the present, I need to make sure I have an s as my suffix on the end of what he does. What does he do? He runs. The man runs by the water. Look at the second one. This picture is about the girl. Well, the girl, that's like saying she. What does she do? She bites the peach. I can't say the girl bite the peach. It's something that she usually does, and the subject is like saying she. So we have to make sure we put an S on the end of what she does. She bites the peach. Here's my next one. This example is talking about a cat. That cat is like saying it. What does the cat do? Well, it usually sits by the window. If I'm talking about something that usually happens, that's the present. That needs an S on the end of what it does. It sits. Let's take a look at some others. I want you to figure out who they're talking about here and what word would best fit in the sentence. The people ride the motorcycle or the people rides the motorcycle? Well, if I'm talking about people, that's they. It's not one person, it's more than one. So I can't say they with an S on the end of the verb. I just need the regular verb. So I'm going to say the people ride the motorcycle because it's more than one person. I don't need an S on the end of what they do. Here's another one, the children. The children look or looks at the book. Well, children's not like saying he or she because he means one person, she means one person, it means one person. But if I have children, that's more than one person. So I don't need an S on the end of what they do. I just want the regular word. The children look at the book. It's easy to see this if we think about what people do. I want you to take a moment to think about what some family members do. If you have mom or dad or a pet at your house, I want you to think of what their schedule is like. What do they do in the morning? What do they do towards lunchtime? What do they do in the afternoon and in the evening? Come up with a list of things that they usually do, or that they sometimes do, or that they often do. When you're finished, you may come back and restart the video. Hopefully by now you've been able to come up with your list. Let's take a look at some of these together. So here I have about mom. There we go. Here we have about mom. Here are some things that mom does. You'll notice, let me just move this over a little bit and a little bit more. You'll notice that there are some things that mom does. What does she do? She gives me hugs, plays on her phone, bakes dessert, feeds us, or plays school with me. Those are things that a mom might do. Notice, since we're talking about mom, that's one person. She, I have an S at the end of everything that she does as a suffix. Now I'm taking a look at things that a dad might do. He plays video games, works in construction, goes to his job. That one actually has an ES on our ending, or our suffix. Grills chicken, takes me to the park. Again, because it's he, one person, something that's happening right now in the present, or something usually happening, I should say, that has an S on the end of what he does. Take a look here for the pet. Eats food, does tricks, again with that ES, runs outside, or accompanies me. Here again with the ES, with the Y changing to an I. So again, you can see how when it's he, she, or it has an S on the end.